Hey guys, this is Caleb with DSLR Video Shooter, and today we're talking about the software and services I use to run my business to help me make these videos and share them with you guys. So let's head over to the computer and check some of this stuff out. First and foremost, pretty boring, but I love me some Final Cut 10. I don't do a lot of plugins with this. I know a lot of people don't like the way color works on here, so they actually use different kinds of software for that. I much prefer Apple's color system, and maybe I'll do a video on this because it seems like a lot of people are confused by this. At any rate, Final Cut for all editing, and to help me get the videos out to you guys in different formats, I use Compressor. Compressor is insanely powerful, and I believe it's like $50, so it's pretty affordable. And what I do in here is, I don't know why I'm showing the built-ins, but I've created a ton of these custom setups depending on what I'm exporting and what settings I want to use. So most of the time I'm using this 4K YouTube profile that I've created, and you can go in here and customize a bunch of parameters and then save it. And within Final Cut, let me hop on back to there, I can simply say, all right, I'm done editing this video. And I can say YouTube 4K. You can import all these, and you don't even have to open Compressor, but it's using Compressor's settings and the power of Compressor in Final Cut 10. So rather than having to manually set this up yourself, you can create all these different, and the reason I have so many is because I do all these courses, this way I can quickly create different sizes depending on where I'm sending it. So I need to do a really low quality setup or a master or my YouTube stuff. So that is Final Cut and Compressor. When it comes time to getting close to posting the video, I use Affinity Designer for my thumbnails. So some of you know, and I probably should cover this in a video, I've completely cut the cord with Adobe. I haven't used an Adobe product in about a year now, and I love it. I love not paying monthly for that and all the buggy stuff that came along with that. So if you've been unhappy with Adobe, and if you're using a Mac, you might consider making that switch. Obviously, I'm using Final Cut, so I don't have to worry about Premiere. And then Affinity Designer, let me hop over to Safari, is an insanely powerful software, and it's around $80, I think, but you own the software, which is awesome. So they have Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo, and a couple other pieces of software here. So definitely check them out if you're a graphic artist and you're thinking about being done with Adobe. So I love it. It's worked really well for me. It's very fast and very feature rich. So that's for my thumbnails. When it comes time to clean up and move some big projects around because I'm generating terabytes at a time, I love Final Cut Library Manager. This is an insanely powerful piece of software. And what it allows you to do is non-destructively alter and move and remove things from your Final Cut 10 library. So I've got my main project folder here with all these libraries. Let me pull up one in particular, current projects. And what's cool about this is you'll see up here it says optimize, proxy, flow, and render as different colors here in little checkboxes. So what I can do is, let's say I'm done with a huge project. I've just finished another guide or something. I can select the library, click all of these little boxes, and at the bottom it's going to say, hey, here are a couple things you can delete without, deleting your original footage. So whenever I'm about to move a giant library from, say, my RAID setup here over to my archive server, I can go ahead and remove all those optimized render files, all that stuff that's not necessary, to save on file sizes. So again, it's not going to delete any footage. You cannot delete footage with this piece of software. This is exclusively for removing and cleaning up all that stuff that you can recreate later. It also has some other awesome features. You can see here, I've removed some files just so you can see how well this works. It'll actually show you when you have external media and when things are missing. So there's a little icon here. That little hand icon means I'm actually in Final Cut right now and I don't want to play with this because I might mess things up. But it'll also say, hey, under this event, you're missing this particular file and it's external. That way you can go in and consolidate your media files. So it's really powerful. You can add a ton of different libraries, and I've found it to be invaluable for my workflow. So now let's talk about backup software. Really important stuff if you're working with mission critical files. And what I'm going to do now is hop over to my server and remote in and open up Carbon Copy Cloner, which is an insanely awesome piece of software, and it is a really powerful way to keep everything backed up. You can create schedules and all kinds of different stuff. So I've got my main server drive right here, and then I've got another giant RAID that backs up the server. It can create bootable backups, and it's really amazing stuff. You can even do simple things like, hey, move this folder over to the server and back it up every other day. It's really powerful, very safe, and when it comes to backups, I do also use Time Machine, but I always make sure I have a cloned version of the drive as well for added security. And it also is great for moving things bit by bit. So if you want a definite secure way to move things around, this is a really great way to go, because sometimes when you just copy and paste or drag from Finder, things can get corrupt and get a little funky there. So Carbon Copy Cloner is awesome. Along the same lines, I use Backblaze for both my server machine, which we see right here, and my main editing machine. Backblaze is insanely powerful as well. They have plans for $5 a month, so I'm paying $10 a month, and I have unlimited storage for both these machines and every single drive attached to them. Since I've been with Backblaze, I've sent about 25 terabytes or more up to the cloud, and I love that security, knowing that if this entire studio gets blown up by an asteroid, I can simply shoot them an email and they'll ship me a drive with all of my data. So that's how I handle backups. When it comes to managing all these massive RAID drives on my server, I use Softraid. Hands down, this is the best software if you're dealing with RAID anything. Even if you're not creating soft RAIDs and you're using a hard RAID setup, this software will let you know, hey, there's some funky stuff going on in this drive. You might want to consider swapping it out. You can specifically tell it to have a drive blink on your enclosure. It's amazingly powerful. So for my server, I can just click on it here and it'll show me all the different drives that are in that particular RAID 5. And it's just so good. It's great for troubleshooting, and it is invaluable for managing giant RAIDs like these 8 bays that I'm using here. All right, so enough with drives, RAID stuff. Let's talk about productivity. There's a couple of different things that I use for that. First and foremost is Things. Things is a very simple piece of software. This is a slightly older version, but essentially it allows me to focus on what I need to do today and schedule future things. So if someone calls me and says, hey, here's a small issue that you need to deal with, I can create something in Things, and if it's not going to be dealt with that day, I can schedule it for another day. So this is what I use to make sure that day I'm getting those things done. It's a really powerful piece of software. It can integrate with pretty much anything in OS 10, and you can create areas of responsibility, projects, all kinds of stuff, and you can use it crazily in depth or keep it pretty simple like I do. And of course, I use Evernote. It is such a powerful piece of software, and I don't use the Pro, I just use the free account, and it works great. I love how I can pull things up on several different devices. If I have an idea for a video, I spit it into my Evernote. I'm not going to show you my Evernote because it has all these secret projects and it's a mess, but really great stuff. And something that kind of goes along with that is a scanner that I use. Let me actually pull that up. There's a scanner that you can purchase, something like this. It is kind of expensive. It's $300 to $400. Here we go, SnapScan Snap. And it is so helpful for getting rid of all that paper. So I'm a completely paperless setup here, and I love this thing. You can scan huge stacks of files. Really awesome. And that integrates with Evernote, either online or offline. And finally, I use 1Password. If you're using any other password manager, then you're ridiculous, because obviously this is the chosen one. It's starting to pop up all over iOS. Great piece of software. I've been using it since it came out. I don't even know how long ago. So it keeps track of all my passwords. I don't have to worry about making sure I remember them, and I can keep them, really secure and have really legit passwords. And all I have to do is remember 1Password. So that's all the computer end software stuff. Now let's talk about web services I use. So here's my website, and that is run with WordPress. Obviously, it's a great platform, free, and so many integrations that you can set up, and developers are very fluent in this. So it's a great way to go for building your website. For the Academy end, so here's my website. You're like, hey, look at this academy, that's cool. Oh, look at all these awesome dope guides that you can purchase. This is a little different. It's integrated with my website, so that's academy.dslrvideoshooter.com. And for creating this, I use a service called Thinkifik. It is a amazing, somewhat new course creator. So you pay for the subscription for the service, but they host everything. So if you're going to be doing video courses, this place is amazing. And it's one of the most affordable services, given that they're going to host unlimited video files, essentially, depending on the plan you go with. So I used to sell my stuff on Vimeo on demand, but this gives me so much more flexibility, great looking sites, and lots of integration and just tons and tons of options. So really, really great stuff, and that is Thinkifik. Going back to my main website, the theme I use is the Genesis framework for WordPress. Essentially, it's the best way to go if you want a really flexible, powerful website theme that you can modify over time, whether that be code or aesthetics or really anything. All right, we got 2 more to go. First is Buffer, and this is what I use to post stuff to social media. It allows me to write something here, and I can just send it out to all the different social media platforms at once. I mainly hang out on Twitter and Instagram and a little bit on Facebook, but this is what I use to, like, hey, a new video is live, and I don't have to sign into each one and type it out and paste it and all that kind of thing. So it's a really great piece of software. You can schedule posts, and it has a lot of flexibility. So that is Buffer. And next up, we have Genius Link. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you guys ever see an Amazon link in the description of a video, usually that's an affiliate link, and if you click on that, I get a small commission at no additional cost to you. It's really great for everybody. You guys can still buy stuff, and I get a little kickback, which helps support things over here. What's cool about Genius Link is if you're in the UK and you click on my link, you'll get an error because Amazon will try to push you over to the UK website, and you can't really purchase things on Amazon.com. So what Genius Link does is, first of all, it helps me create short links and organize all those links, but it also will detect where the user is from and send them not only to the right Amazon website, but still send them to the piece of gear or whatever I sent the link to. So this is awesome for everyone. I'm still able to be an affiliate with those different countries. I don't have to have hundreds of Amazon links for each country in the description, and people will be sent to the same product no matter what country they're in. It's pretty affordable. And if you are an affiliate or a content creator using Amazon as a way to make some money, this is a great service that you should definitely check out. So you have it, guys, all the software and services I use to run DSLR Video Shooter when it comes to software. Let me know if you have any things that you consider invaluable and that I should potentially know about. There's so much good stuff out there these days. Otherwise, you can watch fresh videos here at DSLR Video Shooter every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.